You already trust the professionals at ACMC. You know we're here for the minor aches and pains of life, as well as the sudden emergencies. Now, you can learn more about ACMC caregivers when they aren't on the job. ACMC at Home explores the hobbies our caregivers use to relieve stress or get more enjoyment out of life. We'll present a variety of caregivers discussing their hobbies and showing us how to take part. So maybe you'll find something you would enjoy too. Join us now as we visit with a new caregiver on ACMC at Home.
Hi, I'm Peggie Reinhardt. I'm one of the nurse practitioners here at Ashtabula County Medical Center. I currently work in the Jefferson office. I'm there on Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I have long hours. So if you have a problem and need to be seen, by all means, call and get on our schedule. Today I'm going to present a little hobby of mine called alcohol ink. And with alcohol ink, you gotta wear gloves. So, pretty familiar with this, just as being a nurse and a nurse practitioner. So with alcohol inks, there is specific, it does say alcohol ink on it. Not every ink will work. So it does say alcohol ink. And what this does, it reacts with alcohol to spread and make beautiful pictures. So what I usually do when I'm starting my alcohol ink, I just put a little alcohol down. This allows it to spread onto the paper. Then adding a drop or two of the alcohol. Then using either a hair dryer or a specific bulb that blows, you can actually manipulate the ink around. Now you can also blow it. So there's many ways of moving the alcohol around. And once it's dry, then you'll get these beautiful pictures. Now I do also add something called Pinata Brass to it. And what this does, it puts these lovely little veins of, looks like gold, into the picture. And it just, same thing, just moves around. And as it dries, it will actually do little veinings. And I've put a couple colors on there already yesterday just to put some color on the sheet. Now, if you're using a head dryer, this dries really fast. Alcohol will dry very fast. And then once the alcohol is dried, because alcohol in bright sunlight will fade. So you have to seal it with a UV protectant spray. I get mine from Hobby Lobby, and you spray it a couple times with a UV protectant, and then you can also spray an archival sealant on top of that. So once this is dried, you can actually do multiple things with it. You can make pictures that you can hang on the wall, or, you know, not in direct sunlight, of course. This one I did on black. Something that is extremely nice is that you can take these. This is just a 1-inch hole punch. Punch it out, and then I've got a 1-inch that I can put in things like jewelry, to make a jewelry piece, and then you can make them in different sizes, and then you also would then just glue a little glass top on it. For name badges, because you're cleaning them with alcohol, you can actually put a epoxy topping on it. And I've got one here that I've already made, and I'll show you how we glue those in. So this is just E6000. It's a jewelry type glue, and I just put a little bit of glue in it. I'll shut that because it likes to continue to come out. And then this just glues in there. You let it set for about 24 hours. And then you can put it on a name badge so that you have name badges. You can put it, like I said, in jewelry, and you can make things like rings, you can make earrings, and each of those come with a little glass topping that you can purchase, and then they can come in and make sets. So each of these are the little parts of the alcohol ink that I've cut out and placed in the jewelry, and I made earrings, bracelets, necklaces. So with the alcohol ink, one of the main things besides your alcohol and the actual ink is that you use a special paper. This has to be a plastic synthetic paper. It allows the ink to move around instead of just being absorbed into the paper. As you can see, this, is moving quite freely on this paper. If you had just regular computer paper, this would actually just soak right in and not move at all. But you can use the synthetic paper, Narnia, Yupo, Dura-Bright is what I've got here today. And it just allows it to move freely. And as the alcohol dries, then it'll stay in place where, you can touch it then. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I'll see something, and it's like even doing on glass. So on these, you can put alcohol on these, and once they dry, give them about 48 hours, 72 hours, then seal them. And if you're going to wash them, you would use something like Hodgepodge for dishwashers, but you still hand wash. But alcohol ink will move on them too, and it's pretty amazing, but this will make a mess. So you put the alcohol down, and see, it's just going, because it's rounded, then you can turn it, and it will roll around, and you can make it look already. So, and you can put different colors on it, and like for mugs and stuff, I have one of the tumbler, for resins that goes around in a circle. So I can just stick it on there and I don't have to turn it, then it turns itself. But yeah, anywhere that you want to change how it looks, put a little alcohol on it, and it'll roll. Make it look however you want. You can add a different color to it, and it'll do the same thing. And then if you decide, hey, I don't like this, and you can use your fingers if you want to spread it. You can use paintbrushes, and then if you say, hey, I don't like this, guess what? You can wash it off. Okay, so you can get your alcohol inks are usually 3 in a pack. Hobby Lobby, Michael's, it's like $15, I think, for 3 packs, but you can get them on sale sometimes, so you just have to watch. I try to get them when they're on sale. So they're about 15 bucks a piece. The paper is going to be anywhere from, this is $13 for the Dura-Bright, and there's 12 sheets in it, to $25 for Yupo. Yupo's like the most expensive, and it's my least favorite, because it tends to, when you put the ink on, it'll leave an impression where you drop the ink. So it's kind of hard to get that little spot to go away. Where Narnia is my favorite, if you mess up on Narnia, you can just wipe it clean and start over. So I actually started crafting with sea glass, and I did sea glass pictures, which I have like a gazillion at my house. And then I started adding the pebbles and making pebble art pictures. And as I watched YouTubes, I saw the acrylic pour. And I watched that probably for months before I was like, okay, I think I can try this. And my first ones are like not the best. But then I like started watching people, because with the acrylic, there's certain ways you have to mix the paints. There's a formula, and I found my formula of how I can get the paints at a consistency to spread really well. So it's now, you measure it out with I have a scale, and so much of this, so much of that. Get it all measured out, and then I'll do a big pour. But you have to have like plastic down, because it's going to go over, because you use more paint than what you actually got on the picture. But then while watching acrylic pours and different ways of doing that, I saw some alcohol ink stuff, and I thought, well, that looks really interesting. And so I started doing alcohol inks. And I then have went to acrylic paintings, not just the pours. I've done acrylic paintings. I've had a couple people commission pieces off of me for that. It just takes longer. And then now I'm doing watercolors. So I do watercolor pictures now. So it just, when you wake up in the morning, you're like, what do I feel like today? Do I feel like traditional, or do I just feel like crazy, and let's just do something crazy? Because this can be crazy. And even though you can make something that looks really beautiful, it isn't like traditional. But you can also use this to make traditional, because I've made like scenes with the alcohol ink. It's just harder. But it can be done. This is like the best stress relief. Especially during COVID, when you go to work, you go home, you don't go anywhere else. We have found that this past year, more people have higher anxiety and depression than anything else. That it's just went through the roof. And they can't get to their social worker, they can't get to their counselor, who they need to. A lot of them are doing video instead of in person. So it takes out that personal aspect. So on an extremely stressful day, I can go home and start working this, and it just kind of melts the stress. So I do suggest this to all my patients, that when they come in and they are having a lot of anxiety, trying to get different hobbies, I'll tell them, hey, what do you like to do? Do you like to paint? Do you like to read? Do you, build on that, Right. You may be, a next author just by writing and making children's books and different things like that. So all of this is just a wonderful stress reliever. So I do tell all of my patients, and I show them my paintings, and I'm like, this is so easy. Go out and watch YouTube videos. It'll explain it all. I have actually been here, oh my gosh, going on 7 years? It'll be 7 this June. Yeah. I started out in Conneaut, was in the Express Care. And then from there, I went to family practice. So I've been in family practice a little over 2 years now. So I was in the Plaza for a while, and now I'm out in Jefferson. I've also done home care visits for Dr. Bishop at the local nursing homes. I've done PAT and OC Health for almost a year. I've helped out doing physicals up in ENT a couple days when they needed help. I've worked over with Dr. Verdon. Before he got a nurse practitioner, I was over there helping him out. So I'm always learning. I'm shadowing Dr. Sharma right now to pick his brain for endocrinology and diabetes. I mean, I like to know so that it helps me to treat my patients. Sure. To know what they're doing. Now, I'm not going to do anything that I can't do, and I don't want to add more to my job than I already have. But, you know, it'll give me options to say, hey, we tried this, now you need to go on, because I've done everything I can. And they have other options. So it lets me tell my patients, hey, this doctor has this and this options that they can try that, you know, I don't do in the office, so that we can send them. So it's, you know, trying to get the best treatment for the patient.